Therapy can work and still leave you stuck. And it makes me wonder, should progress feel like movement? Or is the contradiction an improvement without direction? There must be something in the way. Hello there, welcome, my name is Kanchefu, and here we talk about personal development. In particular, we talk about life after therapy. If you're new here, make sure you press subscribe, but if not, welcome back. So, let us begin. Feeling stuck after progressing is very normal. You can feel better and more at ease, but not as clear, because you're emotionally there, you're emotionally sound and at peace, but the direction of what to do with that isn't clear. So there's a strange imbalance of reduced anxiety not equaling forward momentum. That life becomes manageable, but not meaningful or purposeful. Almost as if progress removes the pain, but leaves a gap. And that gap being lack of structure or identity. So let's look at those 5 barriers or those 5 gaps that come in your way. Firstly, around identity. Having your self-image not catching up with who you are can disrupt on how you feel as if you're moving forward. If you feel as if you've moved forward at all, and as that can even dictate the behavior that you are who you once were. But you've healed, but you know yourself better, but you've accepted, let go and understood your past. It's as if your actions still remain in those past patterns. Secondly, there could be a fear of normality. Because the chaos, the overthinking, the disruption is so normal and common, being stable can feel so unfamiliar, can feel uncomfortable, almost as if that calmness equals emptiness, nothingness, and worthless. Maybe even leading to subconsciously recreating problems, acting out disruptive behaviors, doing things that make life harder because that's the foundation you're working off of. Or maybe it could be the lack of direction. Getting help is great. Supporting yourself to understand yourself is great. But what's the purpose and the direction you want to go forth with? Or is it a broken or disrupted self-trust? That could be not following through, not keeping promises to yourself, or feeling as if your confidence and consistency are always declining. Or maybe it's not having a structure, and that could be not having a system to guide your behavior, to help you stick to a way of being that supports you, that encourages you, that gives you purpose. But instead your actions rely on mood and motivation. Those 5 gaps are very common and they can happen to everyone. Much rather, what could support you moving forward? Looking back and helping yourself in that essence is so powerful. It's life transforming, but it also requires looking forward, not understanding those next steps and creating and embodying that person too. If this is helping, be sure to press subscribe. So if we were to flip this around and look at 2 different people, one person's completed therapy. They're at a place where they feel they understand themselves, they've accepted their past, understood it, and let it go to the point where it's no longer dictating every thought and feeling in their mind, but there's an acceptance, a flow, a way of being that supports them on a day-to-day basis. So they understand themselves, but they feel lost. And as if there's no progression happening at all. Almost as if those days are controlled, but not intentional. Change starts with removing one of those gaps, one of those blockers, one of those barriers. But we have to identify what's the main thing that's stopping you, that's making things feel stagnant. If it's around identity, you need to define a new standard. If it's around the fear of normality, then it's around staying consistent and being calm. If it's around lack of direction, then set one clear target. If it's around that broken self-trust, complete one promise daily. And lastly, if there's no structure, implement one routine. The consistency over intensity is what's important. And that's what I'm going to leave it today. If you enjoyed today's discussion, make sure you press subscribe or share this with a friend or family member you know has recently completed therapy or needs that further encouragement to continue moving forward. My name is Kanchefu once more. If you'd like to figure out where you are in life and what support you need to take those next steps, comment the word reset. My name is Kanchefu once more. Have a good day, morning, night or evening for wherever you are in the world watching this. And I'm going to leave you this one question. Which barriers hit you hardest? Because that awareness can now be converted into action. And I'll see you next week for our next discussion.